Welcome to FOMO 2020! My name is Andy and today we're gonna talk about Bitcoin. And since we talk about Bitcoin, I need to give you a few disclaimers first. First of all, I'm not a financial expert, I'm not a financial advisor, do not take my advice. This is not financial advice. It is not financial advice. It is just an opinion for my person on the internet. Just inspiration, just entertainment. Everything falls under entertainment. Also, my opinion is heavily biased. I am invested in Bitcoin myself, so I'm on very one side of the spectrum. You should always get the opinions of people from both sides of the spectrum and people in the middle and people everywhere. So yeah, this is just one opinion, treat it as such. Another disclaimer, since we're talking about Bitcoin in this video, there are gonna be comments from bots or ill-minded people who are trying to sell you something or try to give advice and get you into some kind of scheme. But I don't want to turn off the comments, so basically just be careful in the comment section of this video. I can't be bothered to remove all that spam, but I give the comments that I think are legit a heart. So if a comment doesn't have a heart, then it's a scam. Possibly. I have no idea. Whatever, I'm just saying be careful. Be careful if you're navigating this space. Okay, this video is intended for people who do not have a strong opinion or no opinion at all about Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies. Because the people who already have a strong opinion on either side, they won't really learn much in this video because it's more of an introduction and a why I am in this space kind of video. And I also have friends who are not into it as much as I am. And I have one friend who has a strong opinion about Bitcoin, and I quote, "Stupidest fuck after Trump." But you know, people can have different opinions, that's perfectly fine. I understand why he has that opinion. Bitcoin mining is a super inefficient system which basically just burns energy. I totally get that. I totally get why you're against that. And I don't argue against that. It is the case. And I also don't like it. I much rather prefer proof of stake. But here we would be getting too technical. This should be a beginner's video, so let's treat it as such. Okay, so yesterday, Bitcoin reached all-time highs. At least on the dollar chart. In other currencies we already reached that. Fun fact, we did not yet reach it on the euro. But we're super close, and dollar is the most important anyway, so this is significant. We reached all-time highs. Why is that significant? Well, because that means that mainstream media is probably gonna talk about it. This is developing so much faster than I expected, so I kinda wanna make that video now. I feel this rush, you know, this time pressure to make this video today. Side note, sometimes when I'm watching YouTube videos about cryptocurrencies, I get this feeling that I need to invest right now, like literally that very second. I should have invested like in that moment already, like where you really get this urge, this you need to act right now. I don't want this video to be one of them. If you don't have at least a week to think about it, then the investment is probably not the right thing. Because with time pressure, you don't make good decisions. So I'm not saying you need to invest right now. I'm just saying now, in general terms, is a good time. So, you know, within the next month or two or so, just so we get that clear, because I forgot to say that in the video. So cut back. I really want to quickly make this video to talk about that and to give you my opinion and my perspective of Bitcoin and the cryptocurrency space in general. Because what I don't want happening is people then coming up to me and being like, "Hey Andy, why didn't you tell me all that at the beginning of the bull market?" Because now I can say, hey, I did. You were just not watching my video. Yeah, so we are at the beginning of a bull market. If you have no idea what a bull market is basically where the prices go up. Simple explanation. And then the bear market is when the prices drop again. However, we must also say that we are already in bubble territory. This is a bubble. You need to be aware of that. We are in a bubble. But in my opinion, we are only at the very beginning of a bubble, and the bubble is gonna get a lot bigger before it bursts. And of course there will be downs. In Bitcoin, 30% down is normal. Like that's something that you have to just calculate. Even 50% drops, you gotta just deal with that. If you can't handle that, you shouldn't be in that space. At least you shouldn't be investing in that space. Because there's that side of being in the space and developing those things for the technology's sake, and then there's the investing in that space. And if we're talking about investing in that space, then Bitcoin should be your go-to, because it's still the most stable from all the coins. Coins other than Bitcoin are called altcoins, and altcoins are usually more volatile, because Bitcoin is the thing that has been around for the longest and that has been proven itself. It's not the best system, by far not the best system, in my opinion. But it is a working system, and it's been around long enough that even institutions start to trust it now and put their money into this. And that's exactly the reason why we're starting to see this bubble now. Institutions are buying up Bitcoin. Billionaires are buying up Bitcoin. All the smart money is buying up Bitcoin now. And it seems like we've hit that point now where there's not enough supply anymore to keep the prices low. With PayPal coming into the space and allowing basically everyone to buy crypto easily, that just drives prices up. And most of the retail people are not even here yet. We are still early in this bull market. Once mainstream media is gonna talk about it and people keep hearing about it again, then more and more people are gonna come in this space trying to make some money. Quick money, you know, the retail kind of money. They buy Bitcoin and sell it like short term. Because most of the people buying now are thinking of holding long term. Hedge funds, all those institutions coming in, they don't buy to sell at the peak of the bubble. They buy to hold for a long time, which takes supply out of the market, which drives prices up. And that's exactly what we're seeing right now. So again, I just don't want you to tell me that I didn't tell you. Now, why do I think that my opinion counts in this whole space? Like, I'm just one guy. I don't have any real background in cryptocurrencies. I have a computer science background, so I understand a little bit of the technology behind it. Okay, but that doesn't mean I understand the markets. But let me add that I basically spent the last 3 months informing myself about cryptocurrencies. That was basically my full-time job, but I was just working part-time. Anyhow, I spent a lot of time researching stuff, watching YouTube videos that talk about exactly that, those market shifts, those phases in the markets. So I would argue that I have understanding of the market. It's very slim. It's very slim. I'm not saying I'm an expert. I'm far from being an expert. But I think I'm far enough to understand where we are in the market. And where we are in the market is at the beginning of a bull market. I mean, you can look at the Bitcoin charts of the past. Every time we reached the all-time high, it then went up significantly higher. Usually in those 4-year cycles. I do believe in lengthening cycles, that it gets longer, but this is all details that I don't want to go into in this video. I'm assuming that I'm going to be talking more about Bitcoin in future videos, but this is just an introduction. And maybe I should also say how I got into this space. I mean, I first got into this space approximately half a year ago upon recommendation of the people in my investors club. Also, I need to give another disclaimer here at this part. The opinions expressed in this video are just my opinions, not the opinions of anybody in the investors club. This is not at all related to the investors club. But the investors club got me into this. They introduced me to crypto. Because I was like, hey, what can I do with the money lying around? I'm a bit afraid of all the inflation that we're gonna face. And they analyzed it with me. And since it's not a lot of money, we couldn't really do something with real estate or anything. So crypto seemed like a good option. So I went into crypto. I let it sit there for like 5 months. And only recently I really started to research crypto for crypto's sake. The first time I bought Bitcoin was at around 8,400 euros. That's the first time I bought. Right now, we are at over 16,000 euros per Bitcoin. So you see, from back then to now, I basically doubled my money. Once again, we are in bubble territory. Don't get me wrong. this could all just go down to zero. I just think that it's unlikely for that to happen, but it could. There could be scenarios where it all just bams. Just something needs to go wrong with Bitcoin and it's worthless. It can be completely worthless from one day to another. You need to be aware of that. So whatever you invest must be something that you are willing to lose, or at least that you can afford to lose. Never invest more, never. And for me, I don't need the money that I invested because I currently don't need a lot of money because I'm living a pretty cheap life. So if all the money is suddenly gone, that's okay with me. It wouldn't be so nice, but I would survive. Not a big deal. It's basically just 2 of my salaries that I invested in Bitcoin. So it's not even that much, but also I don't really have that much. So in percent, it's quite a lot. So at the portfolio analysis, when I told the person from the Investors Club how much of my money is in crypto, she gave me that look of, are you crazy? To answer that question, possibly I might be, yes. But her view and my view on the crypto space are different. And I don't even want to go into all of that. I don't even want to tell you what I think the future of finance is. I don't even want to tell you everything about fiat currencies being the wrong thing to have. You shouldn't hold euros or dollars. You shouldn't vlog at a windy space. You don't need to listen to me. This is just my opinion. If you don't want to invest, that's fine, that's fine. If you are happy with your job and happy with your life, then please go around your life and don't bother with this. But I think, well, I could get a job and work 40 hours a week and get an okay salary, or I invest my money in Bitcoin now, wait a year, enjoy my life, and basically get the same amount of money. So why would I do the former? Now, of course, there's no guarantee. With a job, you have that guarantee. With Bitcoin, you don't have any guarantees. As I said, it can all just go to waste. But I don't think that happens. So, would I recommend that you invest into Bitcoin now, even though we are at all-time highs? Well, I can't answer that question for you, obviously. You need to answer it. Because if I tell you something, then it's not your decision. It needs to be your decision. If you invest in something, it needs to always be your decision. I can just say that I invest even at all-time highs. Because here's the thing. When Bitcoin went down below $10,000, you know, 3 months ago or so, and I was still sitting on some cash, I was like, you know, I'm gonna wait a little bit because it's gonna dip lower and then I'm gonna buy. Then it went up. We were above 10K and I was like, okay, we're gonna wait a little bit and it's gonna drop below 10K again. Okay, so waited a little bit and then it went up, and now we're at 20K and I'm still sitting on that money thinking, okay, it's gonna go down, and once it's gonna go down, I'm gonna buy again. So essentially, if I would have just invested in the beginning, I would have been a lot better off than I am now. However, you can't know that. Back then, I didn't know that we were in a bull market. I do now, because Bitcoin showed it to us. We now have more information than we had back then. So you can even argue that it is safer to invest right now than it is back then. At least for me, because I think that I know more about the market now than I knew back then. Because if I knew back then, I would have invested back then. You know, I didn't think that would happen so fast. And I didn't think that the wind would pick up so much. But it happened. And the wind happened as well. And when I wanted to make this video, like weeks ago, I thought I still have time. And I'm just gonna tell people, well, as long as we're under all-time highs, it's still a good time to invest. Here we are at all-time highs, and it's still a good time to invest. However, not if you're watching this far into the future, obviously, right? Because if you're watching this in a year, then we might be somewhere at the end of the bubble. You know, it might still be going up. It might still be going up like crazy, but we might be at the end. So it's gonna get just more and more dangerous to invest. Wind! Went somewhere where we're a little bit protected from the wind. Still a good background. I'm not sacrificing on my views. Right, so what was I saying? I personally think it is still a good time to invest in Bitcoin right now. I don't want to make estimates. I don't want to say where I think the bubble is gonna burst. I don't want to say when the bubble is gonna burst. I will let the market tell me, but I will be prepared. I will take profits on the way, but now we're still at the beginning, so now I'm still investing. And if you are scared of investing, maybe you shouldn't. Sorry, don't let me tell you what to do. But what I'm saying, I would even go as far as to tell my friends, if you're thinking about investing in Bitcoin, but you're scared that you lose your money. If you invest 100 euros now and hold it for at least a year. By the way, if you hold it for over a year, it's also tax-free in Austria. Next disclaimer, I'm also not a tax advisor, so don't quote me on that. So if you invest 100 euros and you intend to hold it for a year, I would give you the guarantee that I pay for your losses in case the Bitcoin price drops below the current price within a year. That's how freaking confident I am that we're at the start of a bull market. Now obviously I only do this with my friends. So only if I can trust you, I'm willing to do this. Of course, there's no free lunch. If you want that guarantee from me, then I want 50% of your gains. But basically, you have zero risk. You cannot lose money. Although, no. Wait, I take that back. You can lose money. I'm just giving you this guarantee on the Bitcoin price. If you lose your Bitcoin because your exchange got hacked, or because you lose the private key, or you send it to a wrong address, or anything like that, that's on you. That's on you. I don't give you any guarantees on that. And yes, this is a significant risk that you need to be aware of if you're in the crypto space. It is easy to lose them Bitcoins and them cryptos if you don't know what you're doing. But that's also why I'm showing my friends how to do it. And if you're interested, I might be making videos showing you how to do it properly. Right, so you need to inform yourself about that kind of stuff before you invest. You need an exchange, you need a wallet, you need to keep your Bitcoin safe, yada yada yada. It's not trivial, but I still think that it's worth it. And so yeah, if you're interested in that, we can talk about it. I only do this with people I knew before, so because there needs to be a certain level of trust. Anyhow, let's not talk about this anymore. This just an idea. This was just an idea that I had in my head because I'm so freaking confident in the development of Bitcoin. Which maybe I shouldn't be, maybe I really shouldn't. If we're just talking about a little bit of money, right? I guess for an experiment, it should be fine. Let's talk about it one-on-one if you're interested. For most people, this is irrelevant anyway, because most people I don't know and I don't trust, so yeah. And also, you don't need to trust me, you don't. This is just my opinion, and it's just me being enthusiastic about Bitcoin and the crypto space in general, especially DeFi. Ooh, there's some good stuff coming up. I might make some more videos about that, since basically that's the thing I'm thinking about most, and that's the thing I'm spending a lot of my time on, researching it. So yeah, you can expect some more videos on those topics. If you're not interested, go ahead and unsubscribe. That's perfectly fine with me. If you are interested, go ahead and subscribe. I will try and split the loop station videos from the Bitcoin videos by making it obvious in the thumbnail what kind of video it is, or if it's just a vlog where I rant about my life. But you know, Bitcoin is a huge part of my life because it gives me my financial freedom, or at least I hope it does. And the loop station is also part of my life, but the loop station just doesn't pay my bills. That's the problem. The loop station, with the loop station, it's super hard to make money. With Bitcoin, it seems to me that it's super easy to make money. So I gotta need both. I gotta need the one for the fun, gotta need the one for the freedom. So that's why it's all on this one channel. Everything that is important to me, I'll be talking about here. So yeah, so if you're up for that, go ahead and subscribe, leave me a like, It helps me out. It might help out others. If you want to tell a friend about Bitcoin, go ahead and do so. I'm telling my friends with this video. You can do that too by sharing it if you wanted to. But remember, I'm just one guy on the internet. You should form your own opinions. And with that, I leave you. Let me know whether or not you formed your opinion. It should just be the start. It should just get you curious about Bitcoin. But really, it's just me making sure that I can say, I told you so in 2022. I think it's been long enough. We've been here for long enough. Do your own research. And if you have any questions, leave them in the comments or send me a private message. And yeah, let's talk about Bitcoin because I like to talk about cryptos. I'm enthusiastic about that. And I think we have a good time to come in this space. And with that, I leave you freedom and health to you. And also make a backup, especially of your Bitcoin keys. Keep those code words safe.